Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to another What's Up Wednesday. This is episode 89, consecutive weeks bringing you a program to help you be a better RVer, whether you are still researching, maybe you're taking some cool trips, or even taking long trips like me. If you're new to the program, howdy, my name is Scott. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Go Small, Live Large, all about the camper van travel experience. If this is the first time watching this show, whether live or on the replay, please type in NEW so we can give you a special shout out. We got an exciting show for tonight. This one's a little different than we've done before. A couple reasons for that. I think it's best to do this interactively tonight. And the second reason is I am exhausted. I've been filming a camper van travel guide in downtown Philadelphia the last 2 days. I must have walked at least 100 miles in my sandals. Try that sometime. And we got a big show for you tonight. So buckle up and let's go. I'm actually sitting in the cab seat of my Winnebago Travato, which is based on the Ram ProMaster van. Just a delight to have you here. Let's kind of run through what we're doing, and hopefully you will stay for the entire hour. We go for an hour unless I really get verbose, and you have great questions that need to be answered, in which case we might go over. So this is the topic tonight. Let me zoom in here for you. So this is talking about innovation. Last week we came at you live from the Hershey RV show, kind of poking some pretty big fun at what innovation is being called today in the camper van space. So today I want to show you 3 examples, 2 from Europe, 1 from Canada, on what innovation looks like from my set of eyeballs. Libation Live, we're visiting Funk Brewing again, and I do have a song of the week. I don't think I got into that last week because we went so long, but it's one of our audience friends, Rich. We want to talk about that. I mentioned Libation Live. After the show, I did go back a couple days later and got some really hot Wi-Fi, and I bought a 4-pack of this Imperial Stout coffee. So good. But it's really all about your questions tonight. So we got some regulars in here and some new folks too. So again, it's really all about your questions. Anything's on the table. Here's some obvious topics. Innovation is the major topic for this evening. So if any of those catch your eye, put that, jot them down for on your list. And viewer recommendations, boy, they've been coming in, and I'm kind of queuing them up. Let's leave it at that. The tip jar. So if you'd like to make the jingle in the jar, we would always appreciate very much your tips through using YouTube Super Chat or Super Stickers. Just press the $sign. That money goes directly into my gas tank. I've been putting on some miles the last couple of weeks, and I am literally 700 miles from turning 100,000 miles. I think it is, or it's 99. I think 100,000. Turned 99,300 today. I think is what it did. So we are getting really close to 100,000 miles full timing in this van. If you have a long story, and some of you are quite verbose, take the time to go to my website, Go Small, Live Large, fill out the form, and I am a little behind on that, but I always get back to you one way or the other. So always like to share with you where I'm coming at you from. Let me zoom in here from you. So I'm in a little town called Mountville, which is just outside of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. What are you looking at here? That's my rig. That's Miss Lily. I'm at a harvest host site. This is a farm. I don't stay at too many farms. I need to make more change about that because these people have a really cool setup. This is a 3rd generation, 81-acre working farm. Met the 3rd generation owner tonight. She was amazing. Same day access to the harvest host. I just so love that. It was a spontaneous thing. Country Barn is what it's called. And if you're in the area, be sure and stop by and say hi. Here's where Lancaster is. It's about an hour and a half west of Philadelphia, where I've spent the last 3 days, 2 nights. And I'd not been to Philly in a long time, and I was really excited to go revisit some old haunts. Here's the weather. It's kind of heated back up again. I am eager for fall, and we need to let Mother Nature know that summer's over. I think everything just kind of shifted a month. January's cold now, and summer stops in October, maybe. I don't know. So here, what's the weather like in your area? Always like to know that. And gas prices, we'd like to know that. Here's what they are here in the Lancaster area. It's a 70-cent spread. That's pretty extreme. So BJ's, that's like a Costco. membership. So not surprising, they're probably the cheapest guys in town. I just paid $3.75 today, I think it was, for gasoline filled up Miss Lily. And here's some prices for real estate. Now, some of these are multiple units, there's a 5 unit there, but basically 300 grand to 500 grand to get yourself a pretty decent house. It's a really nice area, rural, but close to some urban areas. So all the comforts of being in an urban area. We're going to say some hi to some folks because we always like to know where you're watching from. I'm starting to add the flags and keep the flags on the map. I was trying to remember some. We've had Qatar, we've had Australia, we've had England, we had a bunch of Mexico, I think. So maybe if I get some extra time this week, I will try and add some more flags. It's just great to have you here. So let's say hi to some regulars. We always like to do that at this point in the show. And they're going to get right into our innovation point tonight. And what I would like you to do while we're saying hi to some folks is I would like you to bring up, if you're on a computer or something, a tablet, you can bring up 2 windows. I'm going to have you go to the internet with me. I'm going to ask you to do some homework while we do this live. So kind of start thinking about that. I'm going to give you the URLs, and then we're going to visit these sites. There's 3 of them live together. I've got some things I want to show you and point out that is innovation in my mind, and we're going to ask a couple of you to go dig for some of the specs because it's pretty deep, and it's in metrics, which is like, what is that? So, all right, let's say hi to some folks. This is my favorite part of the show. Let's see. Here we go. So here's, so Jay might be new. So like Panoramic RV had the table first and other innovations. We're going to talk about Panoramic tonight. So Jay, hang tight. I think you're right. We got Ron in the house. Denim Roo is getting an Embassy RV, so happy for you. You ladies are going to have a great time. I'm so excited. They are in Winder, Georgia, wherever that is. Excuse me. Here's Sherry, an audience friend. Sherry, working really hard on your van tour. I'm having all kinds of issues with the editing team. It's just... Anyway, hi, happy Wednesday, Scott, and everyone. Fall is coming to Wisconsin, high of 60. Oh, I would so love that. Gas went up. So here's Jane and Roger in the house from Byron, Illinois. Low temps may hit the 30s. All right, that's too low. Someplace in between, please. Here's Diane from Idaho. Just got back from a visit to Island Park and Yellowstone. It was beautiful. Wow, you have to share some of that with us. Here's congratulations on that trip. That's an amazing trip. Here's Debbie from Stafford, Virginia. $339. That's pretty cheap. Debbie's a wannabe for Embassy RV. Embassy RV, if you're not familiar, is I'm their envoy, and I've been working with them for 3 years almost now. And we help spread the love of Embassy RV, and more importantly, how they do things differently. No wood in an Embassy RV, no black tanks in an Embassy RV, and no solar in an Embassy RV. And every other camper van is filled with all of that. So they do things very differently. Yeah, fall's my favorite season too. There's Dave in Indianapolis. Mr. Kurtz in the house. Streamwood, Illinois. Yes, sir. Let's see. We got Louisville Steve. I'm going to be in your neck of the woods here in the next month or so. San Diego. Hi, Judy. Nice to see you. Here's Kathmandu watching from Charlotte, North Carolina. Next trip will be to Arlington, Virginia for the Overland Expo East. Hope to check out the Aeon RV in person. It's kind of a Class C, B+, you might want to call it. So I'm excited to get your thoughts on that because we'll be hitting the Adventure Van Expo in a few weeks. Pretty excited. Let's see, a few more, then we'll kind of jump into it. Let's see, we got Nancy in the house from Massachusetts near Boston. I would love to go to Boston in my van. Being in Philly just helped me think through how cool those old towns are in America. It's just pretty crazy. Let's see. Steve's in the house. Hi from Les Schwab, just north of Portland, Oregon. That's a big regional tire service team. They do a great job, by the way. Les Schwab, remember those guys? Wow. $4.60 a gallon. Holy crap. Let's see. Visited 14 national parks in the last month and trying to see another 19 before November. Wish me luck. I wish you luck, sir. You have a more ambitious plan than even I could dream of. You are moving too, sir. That is great. Congratulations. So you got Larry in the house. Uh-oh. What happened? Larry, I thought gas was under $5 in Simi Valley. Looks like it went up. Sorry about that. Tin Can Carl's in the house. This is great. Fourth Florida State Park this week. Nice and warm in the 90s. Yeah, I'm so over summer. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Tin Can Carl. I just love that. Got Tim in the house in Columbus, Ohio. Next trip is New Orleans. Oh, New Orleans in October for Halloween or something. That's got to be. I don't think we've ever been there for Halloween. It's one of the cities we keep visiting often. It's just one of the most unusual cities, especially for America. Let's see. Tim and Steve's in the house. GEG Steve joining remote pre-camping at Boundary Dam in Washington using Starlink as cellular not working. Yeah, I would believe that. Boundary Dam. Boundary Dam. Help me where that is. Is that way up by Kettle Falls area? There's a lot of big dams in the Pacific Northwest. Hydropower, ladies and gentlemen. So Robin's coming in from hot Huntsville, Texas. Here's Heart is Where You Roam. And okay, so let's take a few questions, and then we'll jump into our topic. So, because this is about your questions, so let's take this off, and we'll cue this up, and we'll get a few questions. So Malvano says, Embassy looks like quality materials. Yeah, they do things very differently. If you're in the Chattanooga area, the first weekend in October, we might have a surprise for you. Sherry wants to know, when are you heading over to Europe? Which countries will you be visiting? Yeah, we're taking a little time off. Thank you, Sherry, for asking. And to be honest, I'm living the dream, but I'm ready for a break. So we're going to fly from Miami to Rome for a couple of days and fly up to Venice for a day trip, back to Rome, get on the cruise ship, and then we're cruising around the Greek islands. The cruise is like 2 weeks, and when we get lands, the cruise ship docks in Barcelona, where we have been. So we're going to spend a few extra days in Barcelona. That's where I hope to get my Euro van tours done. I'm going to hit the same people I did last time, see if they'll grant me some time. So that's the deal on that. Man, this got a lot of light on me. Anyway, so countries other than those cities mentioned, I'm not really sure where the boat goes. I'm literally, my travel agent Kyle has taken care of all this. I'm literally just getting on the boat, on the plane with a duffel bag, and that's it. And some of my gears. We're gonna try and do What's Up Wednesday and get videos loaded for Sunday release. But I'm looking forward to just taking some time off and not thinking about van life, boat life for a few weeks would be kind of cool. But working out so I can look good with my shirt off. I don't know. We'll see. Kent's in the house. Let's see. Good to see you, sir. Phoenix, Arizona. I just love Phoenix. Steve says, innovation. How about no wood like Embassy builds them? It certainly has some interesting pros and cons, I would say. But I don't know of anybody else that has no wood. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, we're going to see this tonight. SGT Zilla. Looks like European. So ahead. And showers, just to mention a few. Yeah, we're going to see these in real time today. Oh my God, this is funny. Hearts Where You Roam says, wait a few days, are calling in Michigan for 38 degrees overnight. That actually sounds kind of nice. Anything above freezing, but low 40s. It's just been so hot. I'm just so over it. Rob wants to know, when will you move west for the winter? I'll probably going to hit the Florida for the Tampa Super Show home base, and then move along in January, February, and then kind of scoot across the south for the winter months. That's my current plan. So Pittsburgh, I'm going to be there in just another day or two. I am really excited to spend some time in Pittsburgh. Hey, Matt, thanks for joining us tonight. You might be a new person on the program. And here's Denim Roo giving us a little jingle in the jar. Thank you for that. I do appreciate that. I can't figure out where all this light's coming from. I think it's above. I don't look nearly as sunburned as I appear to be on this program tonight. Okay, so let's shift gears because I'm dying to get into this with you. And we don't go too long beyond what our thumbnail and description is. So let me bring this on the screen. Last week we talked about this, and I gave some pretty dramatic examples of innovation or lack thereof. And we also talked about the MSRP, manufacturer suggested price, and what a thing that is. So I thought we'd flip the card tonight. So let's, instead of, complaining. Let's be positive and let's show you what some of the other folks are doing. And that's what I'm going to show you tonight. There are three websites we want to visit, and I'm going to share the URL with you, and then we're going to all kind of go there together. But first, let's think about what is innovation. It's kind of like experience. That word, thank you, Apple and everybody else, has been so overused, nobody knows what experience means anymore. So I thought it'd be fun to find out what Wikipedia says about innovation. Pretty simply, practical implementation of improvements. Can it be any more simply said than that? That's right. Practical implementation of ideas that result in introduction of new goods or services or improvement in offering goods or services. There's an ISO standard that says a new or changed entity realizing or redistributing value. Now that's kind of an interesting way to say it. And again, we poked fun at two manufacturers, two vans last week. Jayco, this is a 4-seater, and this is the Integra. Now they're both, Integra was purchased by Jayco some years ago, not too many, a few years ago. I think Integras came out first, but what we kind of laughed at last week was even the website pictures for these two vans by two different companies was identical. That's the extent of the innovation going on. So we had a lot of fun with that. So what I want to do is kind of think through what innovations in a van, and we're just focusing on vans. What innovations should there be, could there be, and how would you prioritize them? These are not prioritized in any way, but I think to my brain that this is where innovation would come from. I'll zoom in for you. Just think about this as we go through these websites. So B-Van Innovations, I think energy system and sources is a big area for innovation. Now, fortunately, the USA manufacturers are putting in lithium fast and furious and very powerful. So I think we're ahead of the Europeans on that. And many manufacturers now are going to single fuel sources, meaning that the chassis fuel, so gasoline in my ProMaster, is running heat and hot water system. So having a separate propane. I'm actually buying into that idea more and more as I start to think about it. Airstream came out with their new van, and there's no propane. It is coming off of the, not the fuel in the chassis. Water and waste. I think it's either how you deal with it or how much of it can you carry. I think there could be some innovation there. The seat and sleep. This is a mystery to me. How, like the new Travato, for example, can seat 4 people, but probably only sleep 2 at best, and 1 probably. Because if you're on the large size and you got your spouse with you, and they're on the large size or not, all of you crammed into that little bed, 4x6 bed basically. It's not very, but you can bring 4 people. Now I'm not sure where the 4 people are going to be. In the tent outside, I don't know, hotel. So I think the mix of seat and sleep is something to really look at as we look at these new innovations on these vans. Super important in my book. Galley. My galley's pretty cool in the Winnebago Travato 59 GL, but there are improvements, so you will see tonight. You'll be like, wow, why didn't they think of that? The bathroom. Waiting to see the bathroom. OMG. And the great room, which is, to me, this table setup that I'm sitting at right now. So I have about a 4-foot table, probably a little bit more than that, I think. And this area can collapse to sleep 2 people uncomfortably for the night. Then they need to get out, which is fine. But I can carry them and sleep them is the point in my great room. Okay, so those are the innovations that I'm keeping an eye on. And you might want to take a screenshot of that or jot down what innovations you want to see as we go into this. All right. So which innovations do you want? Are you ready? All right. So let's do this. So bring up your, get your browsers out. And I'm going to work off my iPad. iPad right here. And there we go. Okay. So, whoops, I messed up. So go to this website. So if you see the URL there, might be hard for you to read. It's Adria, ADRIA dash MOBIL, no E, .com. Adria-mobile.com. So I'll give you a second to pull that up, and then I'll start plowing through these. I do this one first because I've actually been in this van. When I went to Spain a few years ago for my corporate job, which I no longer have, this is what I do for a living. I couldn't be the luckiest guy on earth, right? I'm so happy. I actually got to be in these vans. So I've been in this van in particular. So I know a fair amount about it. So bring that up. What I want to do is let's tap through. So when you get there, just tap on the camper vans. Don't tap on the model because that takes you to a different place. Let this think through. Okay, there it goes. All right, so what I want to do is scroll down. Let's just look at some of these pictures. So if you scroll down to this midpoint, let's look at the first one here, which is living. Tap on the Seymour and gallery, and let's examine this picture right here. What do you see right out of the gate, boys and girls? A great room, very similar to me. I see a skylight. I would love to have a skylight. You know what's on top of my van instead of a skylight? I got a solar panel. That's useless. If you look above the driver's seat, you can see just a teensy bit of another skylight. Another skylight. Wait to see another picture in here. Look at how clean, simple, modern this looks. Those seats for the bench seat look comfortable enough to take a nap on. Not like, they look really comfy. See the table extension? So important. Did I mention the skylight? Let's go one more here. Here she is cooking. We can see the skylight, both of them. See the one over the driver's seat there? Now, I'm not sure making pasta like this in a van is practical. It takes about 20 minutes to boil the water enough. Oh, Lord, tried that on a real stove. Propane. This is another photograph of that great room. Now, this one has just the one skylight, not over the other. Maybe that's a cover. I don't know. But again, just look at the streamlined nature, the color schemes. It looks like a European train motif to me, to my eye. See how the table extension has a little cutaway angle? Just giving a little more space. See the cup holder for the table? I'm actually not sure I like that. But huge window, awning style, so they swing out. What innovations are you seeing? I would give my left foot to have a skylight above me. I think it would be so amazing. And one above the driver's seat that I could cover to get the sun out of here. All right, so this is the bed area. So it's a little bit like the Solus bed or the Alheimer bed or the new Airstream bed. It's kind of a tri-fold thing. Did you notice the skylight in the bedroom? How about watching the full moon from that? That is pretty, again, very clean. Kind of interesting, there's no windows back here. Maybe there's a reason for that. We'll see. It does have some nice kind of ribbon lighting. I like that a lot. So that was the living space. Look at the kitchen. Tap on the galley. Hopefully you're running ahead of me a little bit. That's just fine. What I like about this galley is the 3 drawers. Has the counter extension. It's just got some blank space above the propane stove and sink. We'll see that in a second. You can see the fridge off to the right. You can see how she's using these drawers. And I think 3 big drawers would be so much more efficient in a van than these little compartmentalized drawers that I certainly have, and then a cupboard. It's just not good use of space, largely because the plumbing, I don't think, is well engineered and against the wall, my thinking. Let's go one more. There's a great shot of the 3 drawers. I think this is way more practical in a small cabinet than this collection of odd-sized drawers. Space in the cabinet itself for where the books and what have you can be very smart. One more. This is the kitchen setup. So this is a split. That's what that white line going up and down. Split cover. So one is for propane, one is for the sink. I do like this. My issue I'm running into this is I'm kind of getting over the propane thing, and you definitely don't need 2 burners. I can't tell you the last time I've actually had 2 burners going. One In which case, if you need to use one, you're giving up a lot of space for that second one. I do like the integrated sink. What do you think about that? So if you're going to have a dual fuel like propane, this I actually would prefer to what I have, which is two separate units altogether. Now that sink's not super deep, probably because there's a cabinet underneath, but I think for most uses, this is actually a pretty smart setup. What do you think so far? Color scheme difference, and that's the difference on that one. All right, let me show you the bedroom. It only gets better, by the way. I hope you're going there with me. So this is the bedroom. There are windows in this photograph. There's also an air conditioning unit. Looks like a Truma to me. There's the Instagram shot of the lake from the parking lot. Here's an interesting option. This is a motorized bed like we see all the time on the Rebel with big storage underneath. Windows. I see AC, cabinets. We mentioned garage storage space. This is a twin bed model. So you kind of see the breakout there in the middle. AC. Look at this. This is a Dakota van. The same, basically, ProMaster 3500 that I have. I've been running around with for 99,000 miles. This is a bunk bed, I guess you want to call it. You got a little ladder. You see there in the middle where you can run up the ladder and I guess put the kids up there if you don't want a pop top. There is a pop top version of this van. You can have 6 people. It's pretty crazy. We'll show you the seat and sleep in a minute. And then that portion down below can be the main bed. Look at that. 2 beds in the back of the van. Did you know that was available? Storage, windows, just so amazing, right? I think there's one more. Yeah, this is the same one we saw. Same ones we saw. There's with the middle filled in, so you get one ginormous bed versus 2 twins. Kind of interesting, right? Skylight. I would just so love to have a skylight. All right. Last second to last. Let's look at the bathroom. It's one of my biggest in a van. So this is the same van that I have, 3500. So this is, if you're familiar with the Echo, it's got the swing away wall that in this case shows the sink and the toilet. And by the way, there's a window in the restroom. I love windows in restrooms. Okay, ready for this? You swing the wall to the left, and now you have the shower in a van. Not a Class C, not an Echo, in a van. And here's, I'm not a huge fan of these bowl style, but it's just giving a sense of residential feel. There's the shower head. There's looking down. When you're not showering, you're brushing your teeth and you're using the toilet. Color scheme difference. There's what the shower again looks like. So what do you think of that? In the same size van I'm driving and sitting in right now. It's insane. Let's look at storage really fast, and then we'll shift. So again, this fairly familiar to a lot of folks with the motorized bed going up. Put your bikes in. They have to go out at night, so it's kind of a little conundrum for me. I get, like tonight, I would have to move my bike outside and chain it to the fence and put the bed down to go to sleep. So these are cool. However, storage, there's the 3 drawers again. Storage, just really smart storage. There's a step to get up into bed, integrated. We saw that in the new Airstream. There's the door for the bathroom, the tan-board door. That's the aluminum style. It slides back and forth. Pretty big size cubbies. I love this one. So I have this kind of same thing, but it's this weird shape, and it's under my rug, so I never use this space. This is for shoes. Mine's actually empty. I don't have anything in there. I think that's it. There's a wardrobe. Showing more storage compartments. There's the bed with the bike in the back. All right. So what do you think of the Adria? So if I can give some homework to some of you that have a fast connection and some fast eyes, what we're looking for, if you can find it, is how much capacity, water and waste, and Electrical, we'll call it. Solar, it's going to be probably solar, or and price. I couldn't find a price readily. Um, so if some of you can help me out, we will. That would be great. So let me kind of look in here and see what the comments are on this first of three. And we'll do the same thing here for the next two, but let me just kind of get some. Um, let me do this. Let me get this off the screen for a second. All right, so let's see what your feedback's been so far. See a lot of folks. We got a big crowd here tonight. So Zareth, good to see you. There's Matt, Jim, Joan, San Francisco's in the house. Gilbert's in the house. Yeah, Medellin Falls, Canadian border. That's where I thought the Boundary Dam. That's the boundary, right? Okay, so if you guys have been typing in some stuff, just curious what you are seeing in those pictures. And we want to answer your questions too. So let's do that, and we'll get to the next one. Next one comes from Germany. Yeah, I'm so excited. Let's see. Sparks Guy, trying to get a 30 amp outlet installed inside my garage, and the zoning department for the township is giving me trouble because they say they don't like supplemental housing. Any thoughts? You're parking your RV. I would ask what defines supplemental housing. You are not parking a family in there, I assume. You're just plugging in your vehicle. So one thing I know some of you have done, including me, is rather than trying to get a 30 amp, just do a 15 amp and then just dial down your amperage coming into the van. Hopefully you can do that. And then that's it, you're done. I don't know why you call an electrician and they have to get a permit for putting a 30 amp in your house. Where do you live, sir? Let's see, here's Joan. I'm looking at the Solus Pocket, but notice the batteries are underneath. Does anyone know if that prevents me from upgrading AGM to lithium? Joan, congrats. The Solus Pocket's a really nice little rig. I don't know. I don't think it would, assuming they're the same, take up the same amount of space. They may have to tinker with your inverter a little bit because it may be underpowered is why I would say that. But I don't know. My guess is you're probably fine if it consumes the same amount of space. Let's see, Ming, hey, thanks for being here. I headed to Germany and Italy in mid-November. Can't wait to see what's going on. 3 years since last international trip. Yeah, it's been a while for me too. Yeah, if you get a chance, go visit some dealers. I think it'd be super interesting. No, this is funny. And so manufacturer suggestions ridiculous price. Yeah, it's kind of out of crazy whack. Let's see. Sparks Guy says if the Eurovans are not sold here and take to the U.S. and take market share, U.S. makers will not innovate. No incentive. There's some truth to that, but if somebody can break the mold and just follow some leadership from across the pond, we have a little good news on that front. Talking with the Airstream team that built the new range line, they did spend time in Germany at the Dusseldorf RV show. And they were pretty blown away. In fact, one of the next man you're going to see is one he recommended me go check out. So they're paying attention. And then I ran into the Class B team from Winnebago. Chris Beanert and all his entourage were there. And I'm like, Chris, so what are you seeing that you like? He's like, everybody's copying everybody. I'm like, welcome to the RV show. The good news is him and his team have been to Germany or for Dusseldorf. So they're feeling the pressure to break the molds and do something different because everybody's copying the twin bed floor plan and the bed and back and the bathroom up here, and it's just everything's Me Too in a race to the bottom on quality, I would argue, and maybe not so much, and price. Let's just raise the price, put in some lithium, and hey, we're innovative now. Man, these shadows are driving me crazy. Take that one away. Is that better? So that's kind of that. So yeah, the Wingam is a different animal because it's not a van technically, but it's very compelling. And there's some things in that that's really cool. Bed pulling out of the roof, a collapsible piston style table leg. There's some things that I really like. Thank you, Ken, for a jingle in the jar. Oh my God, I wish you could turn that light off. Thank you for the super sticker, sir. I appreciate the support. Okay, so I'm looking for feedback on those ones we looked at. Say, maybe they're way down here. I think I skipped a few of you here. Let's see. Thanks, Mike, saying tired of the same old RV plans, doing their own build outs or adventure van boutique builders. And even there's a lot of sameness there. But I would agree with you. Sparks guy saying Humble Road. We got chicken. I need to get back on my van builder list and see if we can get some of these guys on. Mason Mike saying innovation for me, a bed I do not have to put together, go to sleep. Large workspace area. Must have Volta. Yeah, I'm glad you thought that through. It's funny you say that about your bed. I thought your bed was pretty sweet. Mine's sweeter because it's just you lay it down. There is no assembly required, no legs, no nothing. It's pretty smart. So here's Gilbert. Oh my gosh, sir. You just bless my heart every week. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your assistance on the gasoline. Why does innovation always seem to come from Europe and overseas? We kind of talked about that last week. I don't have a good sense, except that they're used to really small spaces. And their European design from the get-go has always been, in my opinion, a lot better aesthetically. You go, they dress different, they talk different. Good luck getting on a big gulp with a glass of ice and a Coca-Cola, but they got some things figured out. They've been doing it for a long time. I think a lot of times it's just an expedience and a profit from our side. But there's so many people doing the same thing. I think that's what they're running into now. Now they're going to get their little profit game. They're going to need to make a fair profit. And blah, blah, blah. But I think they're coming in the headwinds of sameness, and people are willing to pay probably for something that is really different and really nicely done. Yeah, I would kind of agree with you here. So here's where you roam. A lot of vans have solar panels on the roof and an AC, so not sure Skylights that big would work, maybe smaller ones. If you got a lithium system, you don't need solar. And if you're, many of you, well, some of you will disagree with me on this. But we saw pictures where there's 2 Skylights and an air conditioner. So there are flexible panels these days and a whole number of things. So I would love to see more innovation there. Okay. So Ming is saying Europeans have a totally different design aesthetics. It's a cultural difference. Yeah, I totally agree with you. We Americans typically have a kind of a disposable mindset. I'm not sure the Europeans have the same degree. If you've been to Europe in particular, everything's in glass, and you reuse the glass so many times it looks like frosted glass. And I think that's actually cool. Now they drink a lot of water from bottles, plastic bottles, so that I don't get. But beer and soda pop. So I think you're right. Stephen, thank you for the jingle and jar, sir. I really appreciate your support. That almost, between you and Gilbert, almost filled my tank today. So thank you. I think it was almost $80. Okay, so let's shift gears. So if you're with me, let me go back to my Let's go back to this. Nope, not this one. This one. We'll go here. All right. So where I want you to go is this website here. So this is from Germany. The Airstream guy told me about this. So if you can look at the URL, it's alphavan.de. alphavan.de. Now this is on a Sprinter. Wait until you see this thing. If you have not seen this yet, you're going to be like, OMG. And I did, let me just kind of point this out. It's kind of funny. Is this the options here? So there's a 4x4 option, and it says here, these are not available in the US or Canada, so please stop asking us to sell them here. But if you kind of zoom in here, what I found kind of interesting, see the wheelbase and length? So this is being built out on a 7,367 millimeter. I don't know why they didn't do meters. 7,300. Hey Siri, how many feet is 7,367 millimeters.
7,367 millimeters is 24.17 feet.
So this is on the big extended Mercedes. I think I got that right on the extended. It's on the big Mercedes, 24 feet long, basically. I couldn't find a price on here. Lots of options. Okay, let's go back to home. 7,000, so funny, millimeters. Okay, so what I want to do is look at some of these pictures here. This is going to seem somewhat familiar. So this is their great room, galley, and their bedroom. So again, skylight above with an air conditioner. So where are they putting the solar, if it has any? So somebody can do, I could not quite figure out all the specs on this. So if somebody can help us with waste, water, electrical, and price, that would be option. This is the AlphaVan. This is only in Europe, only in Germany. But look at this stunning great room. And see, you climb a ladder to get up in bed. Wait until you see the back end of this thing. You're going to drop your jaw. It just looks so cool. Look, all the edges are rounded. See that on the counter? Look at that button. So nice. There's a different color scheme. Here's kind of a shot of the galley. So here they're using induction cooktop. You can see that. The faucet there's kind of in the middle, so the sink's probably off to the side where the wine bottle-ish is. Now, if you saw my videos on the Airstream Ridgeline, what do those little cubbies look like, boys and girls? Yeah, you think they made a choice there with the with the AlphaVan. Look at this beautiful cabinetry up here. Isn't that stunning? Rather than just a plain box with a magnet holding your door up, look at the attention to detail here. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. I want one. It's on the Mercedes though. Now see, I do prefer here, what are your thoughts on having 3 wide drawers? Not these 1, 2, 3, 4 different sized drawers. Now, I'll call your attention to this little space above the fridge. What I would prefer to see is a bigger fridge and lose the storage space. Because that freezer is, I'm going to guess, be pretty dinky. That's one thing I kind of recommend to Justin on his Airstream is get rid of the extra space, put it in a bigger fridge. So here's the different seating. This is kind of strange on the TV. I don't quite know where it comes from. Maybe that's what rolls out of that cabinet. What do you think? Does that seat look comfortable? A little bit of that ribbon lighting. Are you ready for this? Look at this bathroom. Oh my God, look at that toilet. It's a set for toilet. See right here? Set for toilet. With the SOG. Stinky out it goes, is what that stands for. Oh my God, it's just so spectacular. Now they don't have the transformer, but look at this. Look at the simplest thing, boys and girls. Look at that mirror. That's a cultural thing. That's an eye for design. That's an Apple thing. You can't even tell how it's mounted. You know, to bash on Winnebago for a minute. Did you see the size of the mirror in the new GL Travado? It's about the size of my iPad, and it's mounted so low, you would have to be like a 12-year-old to see yourself in it. You'd be bending over, which is kind of what you have to do anyway because you can't stand up in it. You got to poke a little fun. But look at just the attention to detail to mount the mirror is my point. And this little cubby. That is just an impressive bathroom. And it looks like what is that? So the gray thing there is where the sink comes from. It pulls out over the toilet versus flipping down. Now, how about that? If I got that right, it looks like it, right? Oh my goodness. So that's probably I don't know, this is called a $500 sink, not a $50 sink. I just can't get over the mirror mount. What do you think? And it's all waterproof. If I looked in the stuff correctly, it's all waterproof. So here's the bed. So you kind of climb up into bed. You guys on the same webpage I'm on, I hope? Look at this. So zooming in here, we can see a little bit of a pass-through, which is pretty cool. The bed's permanent, it looks like to me. A lot of space given up for the bicycle going inside. Well, look at this. Is this beautiful? This is the flex port. Just the attention to detail again of just nicely designed cubby, storage, shelving, whatever you want to call it. Oh my God. And like even the benches just have this round to them. See the buttons? Illuminated cubbies. See those in the back? Oh my goodness. So you get a couple bikes in there. A lot of storage given up or gained, a lot of space by having these bikes inside. But if you can sit down in there, wait for this. Look at this. For the kids' room. So there. Put the kids downstairs in the basement, literally. And I thought there was one more. Then they go on to all this printer stuff, which is cool. So what do you think of this one? I really like this one. I like this one a lot. I could probably get used to having a permanent bed where you kind of climb up. But man, as I'm sitting back from the driver's seat in the back, it cuts the van in half visually for me. And I like having the length because it just gives a sense of openness. So that would be my thing. Now, this is a 24-foot van versus 21. So they're really putting those 3 feet to use here. What do you think on these? Curious if you ever heard this. Again, the Airstream project manager, Justin's one that told me you need to go look at these. Now I can see where they lifted some of their ideas from. And that galley is just a work of art. It looks like a Learjet or something, doesn't it? 3-point seat belts. All right, so let me go to the next one, and then we'll look at some questions. How are we doing on time? Oh my God, 45 minutes. So the next one I want you to go to is this one. Now, many of you are huge fans of this. This is Panoramic Rv.com. So you go to Panoramic Rv.com. These folks come out of Canada. Now let's look at a few pictures of what these guys are doing. So this picture right here on the front always has me scratch my head already. Now I've not done a lot of research. I've been in the Adria, haven't been in the Alpha. This one I was in California, an audience friend's van for literally like 5 minutes. So I have not spent a lot of time examining these, but right from the get-go, this seems to be a Canadian thing, having the dual fuel fridge. The vents on the top and the bottom indicate flow for a propane. I think we're a little past that, I don't know. Okay, so touch photo gallery, or click photo gallery. Let's go there. I think these expand, if I'm right, yeah. So similar theme, giant skylight, TV kind of in a cool place-ish, but isn't sticking out in the hallway. Thoughts on, I don't know if I can zoom in here because these are, so all the controls above the patio door, I personally am not a fan of that. I think because you're always looking at them. If you're going to do that control application, I think behind the seat under the TV is a better place because you don't look at them unless I'm looking at them like this right now. But they're really out of sight, out of mind. I think this new implementation that Winnebago's been doing looks like this. I personally don't like it. What do you think? But we got the expanding table, we got the galley. It actually has some drawers or something cubbies on the front side, which is interesting. It's got the ribbon lights. That probably dim. Now it's got window van windows. Well, pretty smart, right? Let's go to the next one. Table extends out. This can't tell you what a game changer that table is. So now the TV is sticking into the hallway a little bit. Interesting. I like that you can kind of see through the van and the bed and the windows down the back. Not sure I saw that on the other ones. These track lights, those are kind of interesting. I would like that you could adjust them, right? So here they're doing the propane, it looks like. Giant sky. God, I would give a left foot for a skylight. That would be so amazing. Their table looks rounded, actually. Rounded on the one side. So how many of you have seen one of these in person? So they got the angle cut like the Adria does. There are a couple more up front. Look at this. Holy cow. So I was maybe mistaken. They do have 3 drawers and then 3 drawers on the other side. So you can put a trash can in, and that's what it is, that bottom one, right? Because if you're working and you want some place to throw it away quick, you can leave that one open so you're not needing to get in and out of the patio door. I love where my garbage can's placed, so if I'm cooking, I can just spin around, hit the lid, it pops open, and I drop the stuff in. If you actually had to physically open a cupboard drawer every time to throw something away, it would drive me crazy. What I'd probably do is take the garbage can out while I'm doing cooking and then put it back, just because it would drive me crazy. Look at that galley, ladies and gentlemen. That is a thing of beauty. And here they've got the propane, I'm going to guess 2-burner, then the sink, the faucet appropriately placed. Are you seeing innovation here? I am. There's some sameness for sure, but I think we can agree this is a cut above what we saw at the RV show. Look at that. That is spectacular. All white, so bright, so clean. I'd take an induction cooktop, leave the sink where it is, put a cooktop in a drawer. I think I'm going to be a fan for that. I just use the propane so little. It's got that huge fridge. This has a pull-out pantry, which is interesting. We see these on some of them. I'm not sure how I actually feel about that because it's a lot of storage for a lot of food. I guess you do other things with it, of course. But just close up with some Canadian groceries in case you ever want to check them out. Choco Max. Looks like a door under the bed, right? So you need to get access to that. Look at the size of that fridge. OMG. That thing is loaded up. That looks like a pretty sizable freezer too. So again, I think in a B-van space, just rethinking the space is all that it sometimes takes. Maybe cut back on the storage a little bit or reorient the storage. Here's the bathroom coming up. So Airstream, Justin made a great point on the door. So all the other bathroom doors I can think of except the Travado K, which has a sliding door in the back. Mine has a rounding sliding. These guys have a sliding inside of each other, as does the new Airstream range line. You don't have this door hanging in the middle of the hallway. And this seems to be pretty smart to me. So the shower there, toilet, window. Looks like it does require a shower curtain, interestingly, maybe for that cabinet. So I think the cabinet could be rethought, but if that's the reason for the shower curtain, let's rethink the storage and get rid of the shower curtain. It just makes the space so much smaller. And there's their TV, you can see that. Yeah, see there, I think there's some things they could do there. But this is pretty nice, right? It looks pretty big. Never been in one for any amount of time. Very nice in the back. There's the AC. No cabinet over the back doors. Perfect. Window van. Tons of windows. Yeah, this is a sharp rig. Now, I don't know what the lithium system is. There's the Airstream step. Should be called the Panoramic step. Or is it the Alpha step? Who had the step first? I don't remember it. But we saw that on the range line with storage inside. So wise. Here's storage under the counter. So this is where your wardrobe is. That's the kitchen counter. Interesting. Maybe a grill can fit in there. I don't know. Storage under the table. I like that. It looks big. Under the fridge. Place for shoes. Track lighting is cool. So what innovations are you seeing here? What would you like to see implemented? Many of you have asked me if I've seen this, and I've been in one for about 5 minutes, and it was a couple, 3 years ago. It's a nice rig. Hits a lot of the European cues and a lot of the floor plan that would work for me personally. There's the bed up. And I think you could easily figure out some way. So you just lay that thing down and you go to bed, not having to fuss with it. Sheets and all that stuff, right? Um, Tremendous amount of storage. I mean, my God, you could sublet that. There was a cavern inside the rangeland. I couldn't believe it. I thought mine was pretty good. And you can put your bike in there probably if you wanted to. And they had drawers. So smart. So it probably means all the tanks are outside. You know, we could do a lot of research on these. Maybe if somebody's really passionate about that. This particular van, I would love to have you be the expert. You do the research, you come on as a guest, and you really kind of lay it to us on these on this van that we'll never be able to get into at an RV show. They're like, what, 2 years behind it? Last somebody told me. Leisure travel vans, 2 years wait. There's the bed down the storage. That's a similar scene for my van. So, you know, that's kind of my homework. So if you are really into this, and I am, but if you want to be the expert on any one of these vans or another van altogether, you do the research. We'll put the slides together. You come on, be the guest, and you give us the virtual tour of the van, the innovations that you like. I think that would be a really nice community effort. All this makes me want to do tonight is get a new van, if it had Volta. Not a fan of the power steps. But okay, so you kind of get the idea. So let's call that a wrap on the innovations. Let me slip back to, hopefully that was interesting to you. We've got a lot of folks in here tonight. This is great. Let me take this off screen, stop share. Let me bring the other one back on, and let's talk about that a little bit. And it's just going to pop up right away. Yes, so let's do this. Where am I? So hopefully some of that was new information to you. So again, my question for you is, what did you see? What's kind of a innovation stacked, ranked? And maybe we can start, I don't know, crowdsourcing some of this stuff for our friends at the other manufacturers and really start putting it to them. And again, if you want to be an expert, want to be a guest in the show, walk us through the van why you like it so much, I would be delighted to entertain that idea. What happens if I do that? Okay. So again, which innovations do you want? I saw quite a few there Skylight. If I can have Skylight here and a redesigned cabinet, different color scheme, I would probably be really happy here for a very long time. Get rid of the solar. But that's me, right? So, okay, whew. Is it time for a Libation Live? Oh, we're going to go a little late tonight. Again, I can't believe it. I get into this and I just get so excited. So let me look through some questions here or comments. So we're going to run a few minutes late. Go if you have to go, I get it. And stay if you can stay with us. So here, let's just look at these comments because this was the whole point of the thing. So Robin wants to know, no propane, deeper, bigger sink, larger fridge, love the bathroom. So I think that's the Adria. You might have to call these out, which ones is which. Zerth is saying the cat would take the upper bunk. Totally agree with you. I miss my Luke so much. Ming is saying awesome bed setup. Totally agree with you. All three of those look smart. And Richard is saying rear door has screens and shades. They must open. I agree with you. The windows he's talking about. I would love to have windows in the doors that open. Man, a cross breeze is so important. So Sparks is saying a Tolero pop top has a skylight over the forward room when the top is down. I think I've seen that, and I think you're right. That's pretty good engineering if it makes that thing fit in that space. Let's see. Here's Shirley. Thank you for the tip. I appreciate that. And we are very glad you're here on time. You can always watch it later. Let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have lithium. They had some solar and a pretty small situation inverter-wise when I visited them a few years ago. So maybe if somebody was to take the AlphaVan, somebody was to take the Panoramic, I'll take the Adria. We can do some homework and have you all on as a guest. I think that'd be a fascinating project. In fact, I talked to Chris Beener at the show, Hershey RV show. I said, Chris, wouldn't it be fun to have a workshop on build a better van? He's like, that'd be great. I said, we could do it on the What's Up Wednesday. I'm like, actually, that'd be pretty tough to do it like this in this format. But yeah, we could do some fun things. So a lot of you are really liking the Adria, the bathroom, so great. And I think, Matt, the key to the bathroom is it's in the same size van I am in. A Ram 3500 Ducati is what they call it. But this is not the 24-foot Sprinter. This is not the Echo cutaway chassis. This is the same van with that bathroom in it. I still have dreams of that van tour in Spain, Barcelona. It's kind of a funny point you make. Let's see. So Bert wants to know, 15 amp plug on the outside of your house, what would it be? I think what we did is, it's a 15 amp circuit, but we used a 30 amp receptacle. I think that's what we did. I don't know, I'll have to ask. I can't remember what we did. But I know Sherry put in a standard 15 amp circuit that has a 30 amp plug. So I think you could do that. I think that's what we did too. Some of the crowd is way smarter than I am. Okay, maybe we can get some help on that. Oh yeah, here's Gilbert going at you right here. So I'm glad you're all talking amongst yourselves. Let's see. Looking for some specific stuff here. All right, let's shift gears. I'll keep going here. Here's Matt. Wow. So he's got a good point here. Hey, Matt, join late, but I'll watch it back. Have a libation on me, my friend. Thank you, sir. Speaking of that, let's do a libation. It's top of the hour. Normally do this 20 minutes ago. So again, I'm doing Shot in the Dark. This is from the Funk Brewing in Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania. Cute little town. What made this nice for me, it's Imperial Coffee Stout. And why I bought it again, because it was really well balanced. It's not like drinking a bunch of coffee. And it rested in bourbon barrels. So what's not to like about this? Hopefully it doesn't make a mess. And everything tastes better, as you know, in a Luckenbach Texas glass. So hopefully I don't make a mess on my iPad. Look at the color of that. Oh, it's so yummy. It's kind of fun to be doing a Harvest Host and not having to buy booze. I did buy eggs, farm fresh eggs, and pumpkin bars, which are tasty but so sweet. Oh, I had one half, and I'm like, that's enough for me. So cheers, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll go a few more minutes, because I do want to get a couple more of your thoughts captured. And yeah, let me do this too. If you're having a good day, give us a thumb up. Appreciate that. Let me give you a quick, Matthew, really appreciate the tip, sir. You're a rock star. Appreciate that. So let me get a couple more updates here. We've got some really cool things coming up. So I am struggling like crazy to get this camper van video done. I'm hoping this Sunday will release, but we are having all kinds of editing team communication, and it's just, I'm going to have to do it myself. This is like our third week. It's just so, but I'm committed to camper van travel guides, so much so that I actually, like I said, recorded one in downtown Philadelphia. This is my sweet spot. 2 days, it was $50 a day for one night, basically. But I'm kind of getting into this street camping. It's really discreet parking on surface lots in the middle of downtowns. And I had so much fun. Wait till you see this camper van guide come out. I'm just so excited, but I'm so tired. Committed to getting this information in your eyeballs and your ears. So van events. We had a great roundup at the Hershey show. Thank you for everybody that joined. We had a big crowd. I just took a lot of pictures, but these guys have been on YouTube, so I don't think they would mind me sharing. Others, not so nice, but we probably had close to 50 people over the 2.5 hours I was there, and I know I sold at least 3 vans, 3 Travados in particular. So I'll be waiting for the commission check on that. Haha. This one we want to, this is coming up in a couple weeks. This is in, whoops, Chattanooga. Let me get that off. Sorry. Thanks again, Matt, for the dollars. Adventure Van Expo. So this is, we're going to do a roundup on the 3rd, Sunday, October 3rd at 11 a.m. at the Rover Vans booth. The Expo goes for Saturday and Sunday. And what I'm really excited to say is that the bunch of crazy Embassy RV owners are coming to the campout. I saw the list today, and there's probably going to be the most RVs from Embassy RV in the wild ever assembled at this event. I think there's going to be like 8 vans, and there's a bunch of people come to see them. So if you're curious about Embassy, I'll zoom back in here for you. Embassy does not have this on their website. You need to go to mine. So go smalllivelarge.com. Under the More tab, you'll see Embassy listed out there, or that's what the URL looks like. Join their Facebook group. All the information's there. You can chat amongst yourselves. I'm just tickled pink that there's such a big group of Embassy folks coming to the Adventure Van Expo to join me and just walk around and talk about ideas. This is the kind of stuff I just get so juiced up on. So I just want to share that with you. If you're in the Chattanooga area, please come see us for sure. All right, let's look at a few more comments here. I do want to get my song. Gilbert said, hey, get in line, sir. We're double dating on that one. Oh my God, it's a beautiful van, isn't it? Even on a Sprinter. I'm like, I'll deal with the Sprinter stuff. AlphaVan for the Alpha Man. So funny. Yeah, it's kind of a good point here, Zareth. This skinnier cabinets, who need such deep countertops anyway? You have to make them longer, a more efficient use of the space. They don't need to be so deep. I'm kind of with you on that. I just think it's a van thing, and I'm super passionate and biased on this, but I think people are just so wrapped around all this stuff they think they need. If you actually start using what only you need, it's amazing what you can do without. I should empty my van out one day and just show you what is in this thing laid out on the parking lot. How little I have in here. In my opinion, I got too much. But yeah, I totally agree with your. Yeah, it's. So Van Liberty saying looks shallow but nice, rounded like more sense, less head injuries, and it's just rounded is so nice, right? Just to look at. Yay, or Ming, ooh, thank you, Ming Yi, for the $4.99 super sticker. Appreciate that. Thank you for your support. You rock. Let's see. Yeah, the pull out bath sink is cool. That is really smart. I'd love to know where that goes when it gets pushed in. I think there was a closet or something beneath it. But again, just rethinking the use of space. And caring about the user experience. Not trying to be cheap. With a cupboard lid that holds up by a $2 magnet. But put some effort into it. If I had the cabinets that have doors with magnets to hold them up, and I was living in it, I'd be putting in hinges as a weekend project. That would drive me bananas. But yeah, I don't know the price. I can tell you the Adria, when I was there, it was about 70 grand US dollars, 68,000 US dollars. There's no lithium in it. There was no AC in it. But you saw the type of van it was. It's on a Ram ProMaster European Ducata, basically. So let's see, what are y'all? Something in German, what that says. Have a nice day. Then we got a little French going back and forth. Nice. I love you guys, are so funny. Yeah, Tank's right. The bathroom is just amazing, right? So right, Sherry. Huge garage storage for outdoor people. Well, I'm glad the mission was accomplished to show you some new stuff, and I think they had microwaves. I know I think I think the last two. Adria, I'm not sure. We'd have to go back and look. At my age, no climbing into bed. I'm kind of with you on that sometimes. So I'm just looking at the comments here, and Yeah, Sparks, if it's got a Volta system in it, it's a pretty smart looking van. I don't think well, I don't know, by the time I get done doing what I want to do, 2 years would be up and maybe my van would be ready. Um, I prefer a ProMaster chassis. So yeah, it's pretty compelling. Um, I'd love to do that. So here's Mark Williams. Hugo's got great content. Think about the bunk beds and a new Super 12 ProMaster. Great point, sir. Didn't think about that. Um, yeah, I think it's just getting. I don't know how we actually get the manufacturers to move on some of this stuff. Um, Stop buying them. I mean, that's certainly one way, but I'm not sure that's pragmatic. But if a group of van wannabes and owners get together and stack rank innovations that doesn't cost a gazillion dollars, they can rework what they have. Like my galley would be a perfect example. Rethink the bedding system. Um, and give them that list. Give them some direct feedback. I think it would be a fascinating. Um, I don't know. Winnebago's things in July. They're at the big shows, so January's coming up. Maybe we need to put our heads together, ladies and gentlemen, and call a favor for the folks I know. I'm not sure about doing them collectively, but one at a time. Just get 45 minutes with them, and if 20 of us show up with a PDF of stacked ranked features we'd like to see in a van and what we'd be willing to pay for it, um, that would be an interesting exercise, wouldn't it? What if we collectively help push the industry to a new direction? Not a race to the bottom of copy me, but really a breakout van. Wouldn't that be something? Speaking of breakout, well, I'm going to take over time. So, all right. Well, I'm really glad we got this conversation going. And I can see by the comments you all are taking this to heart and to thought. So here's Sherry got a question. It'd be interesting to see these RV layouts 2 or 3 years ago to now. Maybe the Europeans have had this innovation for a while and are wanting more innovation. Yeah, and talking with Airstream Justin, he said they all have, and you saw it, they're all similar, but different. And I would argue that those similarities are all an improvement in the traveling experience, not a cheapening of the travel experience. So, Rich says here, Scott, if you get rid of the solar on Lily, you can have a shop cut in a Skylight. Did on Mustang years ago. Now that's a pregnant idea, but they have to get into the Winnebago on the inside. I don't know. It's an interesting idea. I'd rather have Winnebago do it. Maybe let Embassy do it. That would be funny, wouldn't it? I just love a Skylight. And this space right here. There's really nothing up here meaningful for me other than the puzzle bed piece, which I use very infrequently. And all this becomes starlight and starlight and sunlight that you can block during the day to keep the sun out. But once the sun's off of you, man, wouldn't it be nice? It changes van so much. Deborah's saying 4.9 cubic foot fridge in the Panoramic Rv. I think that's pretty good size. I'm not a math major by any stretch. It's oh, Neil and Britt. I think you guys shot me a email or Instagram or something. I'm so far behind on all that. So it says they will research the AlphaVan. I have a good friend over there, and I'll ask him to grab some info and maybe go check it out if he can. Even get a van tour. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, if you want to do AlphaVan, if somebody else wants to step up and do Panoramic, then I will do the Adria, and let's get some guests scheduled out on What's Up Wednesday over the next couple of months. And I think it'd be a fascinating community project. Thank you for doing that. So I'll hit you back on that way you reached out, and we'll see if we get something together. Larry Gee. Yes, buddy. Thank you, sir. That is 1 gallon and a quart. So I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. I do appreciate it. Larry's a great guy. Simi Valley. It's a cool corner of the world. And he was born in Philly. I had a great time in Philly. It's a cool town. Downtown's so amazing. Um, all right, looking for some more questions. Otherwise, we will come to a wrap. We did a really long show last week. Ming's got an idea here. Let's get together and get a dealership deal set up to import these vans, a group buy. It's a cool idea. And I wonder how Wingham's doing. They're trying to import one, and I bet it's a huge project. Huge project. I would love the idea. Love the idea. We got a lot of folks in here tonight, but I don't recognize names. So you must be new. Judy, thank you, Scott, for your hard work. Great information. It's very much appreciated. Well, thank you for being there to take it in. So here's a good question. Rebecca wants to know, has anyone else, did you order one or to Wingham and have any info on when we'll actually be getting them? So apparently, Rebecca, you've ordered one. I would be curious if you can share anything with us at some point. I need to reach out with them again this week. They were not at the show. We're curious to see if they are going to be at the Tampa show. All right, folks. Here's Mason Mike. Here's Roads of Life. Favorite experience in the van since the last time I asked you that question, which was fairly recently, right? I think, Robert, it's an awesome question because, I van travel very differently than many. I'm an urban cowboy, but I cannot tell you, and you're going to see this in the camper van video guide. It might be, anyway, using the system I've discovered, finding a service lot in a downtown major metropolitan area, paying for the parking spot, not really telling them what I'm doing, not asking for permission. I'm just buying a parking spot overnight. That's the big deal. Pulling my van in, and I was absolutely visualizing this as I was driving through Center City, Philadelphia. I pull up my Spot Hero app. I'm looking at the pictures. There was 2 lots that met my criteria. Service lot, no impediments, and was reasonably priced. And I'll be damned, the first one didn't work out because they stacked them 3 cars deep. So what I was visualizing is pulling in, backing into a wall, so my bike was not exposed and would be safe. And it would have to be in Center City, which is this downtown neighborhood in Philadelphia. And a van life miracle occurred because 2 nights ago, last night I was at a Boondocker Welcome. The night before that, would that be Monday night? I stayed the night, 2 days, so all day the night, and until 7 p.m. the next day, although I left earlier than that, he would let me stay till 7 for $100. And until you've experienced touristing stuff and climbing into your van, making a supper, maybe having a libation, using the restroom, climbing into bed, waking up the next morning, nobody's bothered you. It's been super quiet. In fact, it was so quiet when I opened up the van door, I heard a jackhammer. I'm like, where did that come from? Didn't hear that at all. And then you go exploring some more. You get back in your van that afternoon and you drive away just like it was your daily driver. I'm telling you, unless you've done that, now a lot of people do it in the woods. That's cool. But in an urban environment, it's a little on the edge. So favorite experience was just 2 nights ago. And that morning I got up and wrote out a camper van travel guide. And that's what I filmed all that day. And this morning, went back and filmed a bunch more. What to see, where to stay exactly. And that's why I'm so tired. But that's my favorite experience, is just rolling the dice, calculated guesses, casting out some faith, having a vision, using the process, and having a home run. And that was my first time in Philadelphia, probably in 10 years. And I had so much fun. It would be so great if we could get a couple vans to do it together. And that particular parking spot, we could probably get at least 3, maybe even 4 vans against this back wall. And doing it alone's okay. Doing it with you would be amazing. Look at this. I'm in the shade mostly, and literally for $100 for 2 days and a night in downtown Philadelphia. Chicago was cheaper. I got away with it, $50 for 2 nights. But good question. All right, let's do. I got to do the music thing fast because I promised I'd get this out. We're 2 weeks late. Hang tight, hang tight, hang tight. Libation Live, we're doing that already. Thumbs up, folks. And okay, so this comes from audience friend Rich, who's been a tremendous friend of the audience. Let us do his van tour of his Ethos 20A. So he clued me into this. Excuse me, Midwest band. I was not aware of it. Are you ready for it? So this is kind of a modernish band, I guess. So we're doing the music app. So this is Seventh Heaven. Stoplight is the song. What makes these guys pretty cool is they've had 3 #1 songs on the Midwest Billboard charts. They do 200 shows a year. They've been doing this for 37 years. How I never heard of them is beyond me. But this song, Stoplight, was really cool. Spectrum was the name of the album. Spin them up on your player and see what you think. Thank you, Rich, for that suggestion. I really do appreciate that a great deal. All right, one more scan, and I think we are going to call it a wrap. Sparks Guy, yeah, you have to wait for the camper van guide. So, yes, it will be there. All the resources. I'm trying to get my first one out. I've got 4 or 5 of these recorded now. That's a lot of work. But I just want you to kind of retrace my footsteps because it's trite, it's true, it's real. It's not watching me eat and drink. It's showing you places to go that's cool. Like taking a picture with the Rocky statue this morning and running up the Rocky steps at the Museum of Art in Philadelphia. When's the last time you saw Rocky? Maybe that'll be our movie of the week next week. I don't know. All right, folks. Long-winded show again. This is the second week in the row. Won't try and make this a habit, but thank you so much for joining me for another What's Up Wednesday. Next week is episode 90, and that will just kind of top off the mileage of the van probably. We'll see you next Wednesday. We'll see you in Chattanooga here shortly. I'm super excited about that. And until we see you soon, enjoy your libation, journey on, and peace be with you. Thanks for joining me tonight. Really appreciate it.